I've started on mute. Schoolboy error. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. It is Sunday, and we are about to commence the week, which sees Tottenham Hotspur have their first friendly. We, of course, in 6 days' time, we will be playing a Reading in 6 days' time. It means that Mohamed Kudus will be available. And the big question still remains, will Morgan Gibbs-White be a Tottenham player in time for Spurs pre-season? We'll see. There's lots of people saying, how can this not be sorted? Spurs are moving slow. I think people need to realise at this stage, this is not in Spurs' hands. This is not in our hands. This is with the FA. This is with the lawyers. It could be wrapped up very, very soon. We don't know. But I think blaming Spurs for this one is a little bit way off the mark. So we'll see. We'll see. But what I'm hearing that there's going to be a lot of players coming in. I'm hearing there's going to be a lot of signings. I'm hearing that there's going to be a lot of change at Tottenham Hotspur, and that most of the changes that Spurs fans have been asking for are happening, i.e. Daniel Levy stepping away from the football side of the operations and leaving that to Vinai Venkatesham. Charrington, as far as we're aware, has come in and is now supporting in those last moments of even naming rights or takeover. Obviously, this wouldn't be a 2 or 3 month conversation. There would have been conversations going on for a long time, but it looks like Charrington's been implemented by, sorry, that bit of hair is really annoying me. It looks like Charrington who's been implemented by Joe Lewis to help that process. You've got a new manager, you've got new coaches, new players are coming in. I expect to see plenty of players going out. And unfortunately, I do think that that's going to spell the end for a lot of these youngsters that fans always seem to keep telling me are amazing. I think we're going to see the end of a lot of those. I just can't see how they're going to get game time. But surely, as a Spurs fan, this is a good moment, right? This is a good moment. We're in a moment. Yes, I'm still seeing those people going, oh, what's really changed? And you're like, well, a lot. Like, loads is changing. If you want to look on the cold face of it, that only one deal is wrapped up in the form of Mohamed Kudus, then sure. But if you look at the bigger picture, look how we moved for Morgan Gibbs-White, new manager, as I said, new coach, new coaches, board members joining, board members leaving. It's all change. Still, some people can't seem to wrap their head around that, and they can't seem to understand that these things don't happen overnight. Guys and girls, let me know your thoughts. Good morning to each and every one of you. This is the first of 2 lives today. Of course, it's Sunday. By being Sunday, what does it mean? Well, it means that the Spurs review is tonight at 7:30, and we'll have a panel put together for you to talk and row and argue all things Tottenham Hotspur and football. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I've got a feeling we won't see any news. I could be massively wrong, by the way. I've got a feeling we won't see too much news today. But I do expect as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday rolls into town that we'll start seeing more about Morgan Gibbs-White, about some of the other rumours. What I'm hearing as well is that what Palace want for Wharton is ridiculous. What I'm hearing they want for Palace. So I'm not going to go on that route. I don't think. I'd love him. I'd love him. I really would. I just think what they're going to ask for Declan Rice is going to be Declan Rice. I was going to say what they're going to ask for Wharton for me, I think will be Declan Rice type numbers. I don't know that for sure. But what I'm hearing is Crystal Palace have no need to sell at all, and that there isn't a release clause as far as we're aware. No release clause means Palace can ask whatever they want for the player. Now, the player might kick up a fuss and say, hey, I want to go. But, hey, Crystal Palace, they own the registration to the footballer. They own him, so to speak, right? They own him. So that's one, I think, if the club gets that deal done, that would be amazing. I think that would really show that things have changed, but I don't expect it to. I don't suddenly expect that we're going to start spending 85, 90 million pounds on footballers. Excuse me. But hey, I could be massively wrong there. I could be, but it's it kind of, it feels like, yes, Wharton is the one that I think a lot of people want, but it does feel like there's more sensible options out there if you're going to have to start paying 80, 90 million. And Danny said it right yesterday. If you're going to spend 80 million on Wharton, imagine what 80 million can get you across 2 or 3 players. So all of these things remain to be seen. I'm also hearing loosely that Jack Grealish could be a possibility on a loan deal. I don't know. Again, I'm just telling you certain things that I've heard. Not an ITK. I'm not sitting here and claiming they're happening. But listen, I think it's going to be very interesting. I'd love a player like that. I think again, a player that comes to Tottenham, revitalizes his career, a talented player, a winner, works hard, holds the ball up, brings others into play. He's a different profile to what we've got. And if you can get that sort of player on a loan deal for a year with a World Cup year coming up, for me, it's a no-brainer. I know we've got a lot of fans that go, oh, I wouldn't want him. And I honestly, I look at those fans and I'm like, are you looking at our squad? Like, are you looking at the players we've got as options? I would definitely take him. Again, I don't know, guys. And I genuinely don't know. These are just things that I've heard. I try and bring you back things that I've heard. If some of them are right, so be it. If some of them are wrong, so be it. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, gambling. Yeah, you never know. Maybe there's a secret release clause for Wharton. I mean, how dumb a secret release clause is. What is that? A secret release clause. A release clause is so that if a club wants to take the player, they know, here's the price, pay it. Now, I'm not absolving Spurs of all blame. I don't know what's happened in the let's talk Morgan Gibbs-White, shall we? Before we talk Morgan Gibbs-White, let's say hello to a few people. Big up to Phil Coys. How you doing, bro? Looking forward to seeing you next Saturday at the barbecue. Said north of 80 million for Wharton, I reckon. Might be a step too far, but hey, there'll be other targets. This is exactly it. If you look at Palhinha, Palhinha will probably be 30 million, 25 million, even a loan deal. I get that Wharton is the one that everyone wants for the next 5, 6, 7 years. But you've got to, we've got to be really, really realistic about this at the same time as dreaming. Listen, and I hear this all the time. Let them dream. Sure, crack on, knock yourselves out, dream about who you want, but they're called dreams for a reason. Sometimes there is a reality that comes into it. And as I've said, if Spurs go and get Wharton for a big fee, it will show. It will show a lot of change. It really will. Alpesh said, should we go for Harvey Elliott if we can't get Wharton? I would, listen, again, I think you've answered your own question with the different positions. I would get a player like Harvey Elliott anyway. I think this is a really good, talented player who's young, but still got loads and loads of experience. For those prices for homegrown, for me, I think you fill out the squad with players like this. And this is where you turn around to the manager and go, right, now make this work. You've got players, rotate, make it work. I think I would see Harvey Elliott a bit more in the Morgan Gibbs-White mold, if I'm brutally honest. But hey, we'll see. We'll see. Dan Skylar said, no more kids, please. Yeah, I mean, listen, I suppose it depends. I mean, are we counting Wharton as a kid? I mean, he is younger, but he's now got Premier League experience, international experience. Depends who we're talking about there. Tintin 61, I said, worth a punt on Grealish on loan for sure. I just don't see a downside to it. I genuinely don't. I don't look. See, we go. Grealish really a waste of wages. I mean, look. I mean, you're not an accountant. Like when you're saying a waste of wages, we need a 6 and a left back. Well, why can't we get all of them? Why can't we get all of them? Mark, I genuinely don't get it when people are saying no, they wouldn't want him. Look at our left-sided options, right? We got Son who can't run anymore, right? We've got Brian Hill who'll probably go. You've got Yang who'll probably go out on loan, and you've got Tell who is meh, right? What if you're telling me that this guy is going to come in and be our starting left-sided forward with Kudus on the right and Maddison in the middle with Morgan, Gibbs-White and someone like a Wharton or a Palhinha, I'm all over that. He is superior to the footballers we've got. Superior. I mean, we're saying Villa, the Villa version of Grealish. I mean, this is a man that was just integral to Man City winning a treble. He played nearly every game in the treble-winning season. Like, I honestly, I think I've said this before. I'll say it again. I'll call anyone out. I truly believe that we don't understand the level of quality some of these players are. You know, if we're going to say, oh, but you can't get in at City. Well, look who City have got. City have got ridiculous footballers. But hey, that's just me. Simon Hill said he'd like Kone at Roma. Yeah, I wanted him last year. Well, as I said, you know the row I always have with Lubo. I have so been banging the drum. People like Manu Kone, people like Fofana and Thuram all moved last year for cheaper than Archie Gray, and those were the deals for me that we should have been doing. Good morning to Paul123. No, I wouldn't expect there to be any news on Morgan Gibbs-White yet. We think this only happened Friday. I would expect that this probably gets resolved by Wednesday, maybe a bit sooner. I'm really hoping that's the case anyway. Quinny has said sell Basuma and Bentz, bring in Gibbs and Wharton. Yeah, I think that the difficulty you've got is, one, I think we know Thomas Frank likes Rodrigo Bentancur. I can't see Bentancur leaving. Hey, I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying I can't see it myself. I can't see him leaving. Basuma, again, we had that news, didn't we? Does Basuma want to be at Tottenham Hotspur? And the answer at the moment is yes, he does. And the difficult thing about that is you've got 1 year left on his. Let me just double check this before I lie about this. Basuma, I'm pretty sure I did this yesterday. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Yves Basuma. Come on, transfer market. You can be quicker than that. There we go. Right, so Yves Basuma at Tottenham Hotspur has got 1 year left on his contract. So Yves Basuma might be sitting there going, I will play this out for a year and see what happens and try and force my way into the team. If not, I'm going to leave on a free and I'm going to get a hefty sign-on bonus. And this is the difficulty. I mean, I'm sure some of you saw the video I put out last night, and it was talking about, yeah, agreed. Yeah, absolutely. Declan Rice money. We were talking about, Matt, listen, I don't think it would be. When you're saying Palace would snap up the money, Matt, you're doing that thing again. Why? Why do Palace need to snap up the money? I think it's going to need to start the bidding at 70, and I think the bidding is going to have to go up. Again, I feel like, Matt, when we talked the other day and I said, you really don't understand how transfers work. I don't think you understand. This guy's got 4 years on his contract. He's an England international. He's homegrown, right? And Crystal Palace aren't in any financial trouble whatsoever. So I genuinely don't think that they would snap your hand off for that at all. Palace are not stupid, and Steve Parish is a very good chairman. Yves Basuma, right? One year left on his contract. In the video last night, I talked about, didn't I? I know that football fans, we say things, don't we? And I've never been like this, but football fans say things like, just sell him, just get rid of him, force him out. Now, look, there are things you can do to make the situation uncomfortable. You can tell him that he's not wanted. You can tell him he's not in the first team, but it's not as simple as, it's really, really not as simple as just saying, get rid of him. He's got to want to leave. Yeah? Jimmy says, Savva, you, myself, and all Spurs fans are crying for ages that we want to be spending for quality. And Danny makes the point. Now Danny makes the point that we're spending 80 million. Like, no. He's making the point that if it starts getting into ridiculous territory, like 80, 90 million pound for Wharton, then you can go and get other players that are good and still have money left over to buy other players that make us better. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I feel like you're just trying to find something there to have a pop at someone for no reason. So look, listen, I don't think it's that easy to just get rid of a Basuma if he's saying he wants to stay. And by the way, I'm going to say this. I feel like he gets a really raw deal. I don't think he's been any better or any worse than players like Bentancur, for example. But people love Bentancur and hate on Basuma. I thought in that lead up to winning the Europa League, I thought Basuma was our best player across the last 4 or 5 games of that competition. So I think, listen, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Of course, the other thing is as well, you can't make a player go to a country he doesn't want to go to. So like when fans say, oh, just sell Son to Saudi, just sell Richie to Saudi, sure. But they have to want to go to Saudi. You can't make them live there. Can't make them go to Turkey. Can't make them go to the US. So I think we've got to be very careful when we talk about just do this and just do that. And this is very, very easy to do. I just think it's mad. Yeah, again, you've done that thing again. I mean, Grealish doesn't play on the same side as Kudus, so I'm not sure what that's got to do with anything. He's a very different footballer to Kudus. I feel like people just want to say things to be controversial. Unfortunately, Matt is the king of that. We all know this, right? Matt is the king of just saying something stupid without actually having done his homework. And I think he's probably licking his wounds a little bit. The day before Spurs go and pay a 60 million release clause, he's telling me how shit Daniel Levy is and this, you know. So I think he's probably licking his wounds a little bit. Bill said Jack Grealish should be my favourite Tottenham Hotspur player since Dimitar Berbatov. I'll tell you the thing is with Jack Grealish that people need to get in. Jack Grealish doesn't give the ball away. Jack Grealish is absolutely exceptional at getting his team up the pitch, holding the ball up, bringing others into play, and he wins free kicks for fun. Yeah? For fun. And all people talk about is, oh, but we've seen him drunk. So what? I saw Ledley King drunk. What's it? I don't care. Oh no. Grown man gets drunk celebrating. Right? So what? Who cares? Well, yeah, it'd be interesting to know. It's my face. It'll be interesting to know, is there a contract offer on the table? We know there was. Is there now? Again, look, it's my face. I'm one of these. If players don't want to be it, I don't care who you are. If you don't want to be it, move on. I've had that. I mean, I've preached that about Romero. I've preached that about Maddison, about all of them. If you don't want to be it, move on. I've got no problem with that. Which is why I don't ever understand fans getting so upset when players are transferred. Like the Forest fans now going, oh, Morgan Gibbs-White is a snake. Why? Because he wants to move to a bigger and better club. Makes him a snake. Does it? Or does it mean he's got a bit of ambition? Madness. Big up, Savva. Just splashed the cash on Rodrigo. Are you talking about your lot? Splashing the cash on Rodrigo. You lot are moving really weird this year. You've done some good things and then just some really crazy things. Don Hotspur said 85 plus 10 add-ons type of deal. I mean, if we're talking about Wharton, I think it's going to be something like this. I genuinely think that fans need to understand now that the selling clubs who aren't in financial difficulties hold the key. So when fans just say, just pay 70, it's done, it could well be. But Crystal Palace are not in financial trouble. Crystal Palace are going to make money from Guehi. They're going to make money from Eze. They're not in financial trouble. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Quite possibly, and this is one of the ways you try and force a player out. But I can't believe that we would say he won't play a single game. I feel like we're talking about him like he's a really bad footballer, and he's not. He's not a bad footballer at all. I think what we're doing is we just want better midfielders. For me, I'd be looking at getting Papa Sarr out before Basuma and Gray. I'd be looking at getting them out. Difficult to say, isn't it? Difficult to say. Wharton is instrumental to Palace. He's now an England international. Declan Rice was, the captain of West Ham and grown up there. I mean, I don't know. The difference is the years are moving on, Quinny, right? Like the deals that used to be 50 million are now 70. The deals that used to be 30 million are now 50, 60. It's just got crazy, hasn't it? Tintin61 says, not one of those players. Oh, it was all a load of nonsense. Oh, Ange being sacked. Oh, we've upset the dressing room. From what I'm hearing is that the players love Frank and love being at Tottenham right now. I'm sure there are a few other people. I'm sure there's some other people that have heard the same thing. But we'll see. We'll see. Matt, my mate, Matt's back. Said 70 million depending on the structure. If we off bulk straight up, then there is a chance. How much money do you think Spurs are just going to whack in straight up for footballers? You think they're going to go 60 Gibbs-White straight up, 70 straight up for Wharton? I genuinely, listen, I despair sometimes. Random exposure said, Maddison does nothing. Savva keep him. Other players sell him. Maddison does nothing. Maddison's our only creative footballer. What are we talking about? Maddison does nothing. What's Maddison got to do with anything? Other players sell him. Who have I said to sell? This is really weird. Hang on. I think what we've got to do with random exposure, unfortunately, wasn't loved enough. Ready? It's a troll. The Savva has said it's a troll. Unfortunately, we do get dicks like this every now and then. I haven't said any of that, what that guy just said. So I'm really not sure what he's saying. Rubbish. This has been terrible other than the semi-final second leg. Benter was much better other than last season. I disagree when you're saying he's been terrible. I think this is ridiculous. I feel like we've got to understand here, right? We've got to understand that I don't think any of our players we can turn around and have been really good. I don't see that we go, oh my God, that player's amazing. This player's been shit. I think they've all been a bit hit and miss, all been a bit inconsistent. But when you're saying he's been terrible, he's not been terrible, has he? I'll tell you what is terrible. What is terrible is having 900 of you in the chat and 200 likes. 2 in 9 hit rate. Come on, people. That is absolutely ridiculous. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We are nearly at 19,300 as we motor towards the 20,000 subscriber mark. So please do subscribe. Do smash that like button if you haven't already. There is the link. I've pinned it, but there is the link again. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And let's look at some very generous super chats. Big up to Phil Coys, who started the super sticker train. Thank you very much, my man. Looking forward to seeing you next week. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of banter and a lot of food and a lot of drink. So big up to you, Phil. Much love, buddy. Big up to Kevin Holditch, who said, morning. Good morning to you, Kevin. Really appreciate all of the Spurs content. Thank you. Keep up the awesome work. Kevin, how nice to hear something nice being said. Thank you very much. That is very nice of you. The kind of ratio to hearing nice things versus awful things as a YouTuber, probably about 9 to 1 in favor of bad stuff. So thank you for being the 1 in 10. Big up to you, Kevin. Really appreciate it, my man. Thank you very much. Emma Morton always comes in with her super sticker or super chat. Big up to you, Emma. And good morning to you as well. We've still got 31 minutes of this morning to go. Big up to you. And don't forget, we've got the Spurs review tonight at 7:30. Big up, Emma. And Joshua has said, big up. Did you see Crystal Palace trying to get Europa spot back? Well, I would thoroughly expect Crystal Palace to try and fight that. Their fans must be absolutely gutted. The players must be gutted. They've gone and won the FA Cup, gets you into the Europa League, and then suddenly that awful Nottingham Forest Football Club have taken their spot, slowly becoming the most hated team in the Premier League, Nottingham Forest, which is a shame. Some of their fans are absolutely brilliant. So big up to you and big up to the 4 people that just subscribed as well. We're only 11 away now from 19,300. Big up, Joshua. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with that scenario. And big up to Craig Scott, General Tracks. Big up to you, my man. With a super sticker, carrying on the super sticker train. Big up to you. Just a fun fact. If everyone stuck in a 99p super sticker, we'd have £900 in the space of 1 minute. Big up to each and every one of you. Big up to Karate FC as well. Said morning to all locked in. Come on. Are you Spurs? Happy Sunday. It is a happy Sunday. Things are changing. Things are moving. The sun is shining. I know. Hang on. Let's see. The sun is shining, I promise you. Thank God for the shutters. The sun is shining, and Tottenham, things are changing, and we're going to talk about that next. We're going to talk about the massive changes at Spurs after we've gone to a few more of your comments. Big up Karate FC. Okay, I saw an interview with him last year, and he was putting this myth to bed. He did an interview last year with Sky Sports where he said, I keep hearing all these things about me, and he said I love football, like, I want to play. But he said he acknowledges that things are changing and moving at Man City, and he might have to move. So listen, you've got to remember, it's like me or you, right? If we have a job somewhere, it becomes a bit stale. Things have changed. Things move on. You need a new lease of life. I just don't think we are in any position. Not you. Not saying you didn't say this. I don't think we're in any position as a club to be turning our noses up at people like Jack Grealish. I genuinely don't. Oh, my mate's back. Savva criticises Bentancur. What are you talking about? But Savva never criticises Maddison for doing absolutely nothing. He's jumped on the James Maddison thing. Bless you. Oh, do you need a cuddle? Everybody in the chat, could you give random exposure a cuddle? Bless. Oh, it's all right. It's going to be all right, random exposure. You're going to be just fine. I promise you. You won't always be a dumbass. You might mature a little bit. Don't you worry. I love it. I love Matt. I love Matt with all my fiber. Not sure why anyone should be overhyping Levy. Who has? He's done a couple of good signings, but it's not enough. 2 signings don't change 25 years of pain, Savva. Who said it did? Again, Matt, people like you don't understand context. First of all, I haven't actually said anything about Levy. Second of all, no one's overhyping him. You were just wrong the other day, and you're not understanding this. You do realise now the power shift is changing at Tottenham, and that Daniel Levy is stepping more into the commercial side of the club with Vinai Venkatesham taking over the football operations, right? No one's overhyping Levy, but we ask for change. People like you, this is how I know, Matt. People like you that say you want change, you don't really want change. When you start to see it, you still can't. 25 years of pain. Cool. Look, if they're changing, which it looks like we are, isn't that what we all asked for? So why aren't you happy about that? It's just something to be controversial about, as always, Matt. And you're more than welcome to come on so we can chat. You're more than welcome to come on so that I can easily dismantle all of your arguments as normal. Someone explain this. I think Bentancur's a good footballer. I don't go overboard about him. I think he's a good player. I think he's neat. I think he's tidy. I think he keeps the game ticking over. For me, though, I've just never thought he's at that level. I think he's there. I think some of our fans put him there. Now, we can talk about injuries, etc. Even before the injuries, I thought that this is a guy that he ran the game against lower clubs. I've never really seen him do it against the bigger clubs. I've never seen him get a massive game and run it. For me, that's only me. Each to their own. Phil said, Bissouma and Bentancur are good footballers in the day. I just want us to freshen that midfield up. Bang on. That's exactly where I'm at. I've got no problem if both go. I've got no problem if both stay, but I would like to freshen it up. Get some different legs in there, some different attributes. But just a PSG. If Chelsea win it, fair play to them, because this PSG team is built differently. I fully expect PSG to win everything. I think they'll beat us. I think they'll beat Chelsea. I could be wrong on all fronts. Big up to you. Kicks TV, I hate it when fans say, Zubi doesn't move the needle. You've got no way of knowing that. You've got no way of knowing if Zubimendi moves the needle. He's a fantastic midfielder who is very different to the midfielders they've just replaced. You've got no way of knowing that. We've got to stop talking in definites. The definites are crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Taylor Drover says Bissouma is bang average. If Bissouma's bang average, then what's that say about the rest of our squad? Aren't they all bang average as well? They've all been hit and miss like him over the last 2 years. Gorby said we've 34 players on our books. I would move on from Scarlett, Davis, Richie, Solomon, Hill, Devine, Phillips, Biss. Sure, got to have people to buy them. You've got to have people to buy them. Got to. This is the problem, right? If players like Richie and Bissouma, I don't want to go. But you're not going to play. No, I'm going to stand and fight for my place. But you're not going to get a game. I'll stand and fight for my place anyway. Or I'll run down my contract and move on a free. very difficult, right? I agree. In theory, completely agree. Completely agree. In theory, sell them. I've got, as I've always said, I don't do the sentimental thing that a lot of fans do. If I wake up and any player's been sold tomorrow with this current squad, I'm comfortable. I don't think there's a superstar in there. You know, the days when it was like, oh my God, if Bale leaves, oh my God, if Teddy Sheringham leaves, you know what I mean? If Kane leaves, if Modric, I don't think we've got those players anymore. I don't think I look at a single Spurs player and go, oh my God, that's £100 million footballer. He is amazing. I don't. Not saying they're not good players. I just don't think there's that standout, amazing footballer for me. Big up to Shane, who said, I don't think Gray is as good as people think and not worth 30 million. Shane, everyone knows my opinion. For me, wasted money. Now, he might come good in the future, but for me, I just think there's so many better players you'd rather have in your squad than Archie Gray. That's just me. So the one place we have depth is on the wing. Yeah, but no quality. Grealish should be a marquee signing on the top wages, probably the highest in the team. Where do we need depth? Where do we need depth? The money can be used more effectively. Sure, but I still think we need a left-sided forward. I don't think Tell's good enough to do that on his own. So I'm going to have to disagree with you on that. I'm going to really have to disagree with you on that. Drew said it's been like 4 days and the preseason already feels better than last season. Well, Drew, I mean, if we've already got, I mean, again, let's assume that Morgan Gibbs-White joins. If Morgan Gibbs-White joins and you got Kudus through the door, this window is already better than last year. I thought last season's window was dreadful. And this is already better than our last 3 or 4 windows, isn't it? So, yeah. Big up, Martin. Hope you're well. Hello, sir. Hope you are well. Tony Rodriguez saying go for Luis instead of Wharton. Look, listen, Douglas Luis, another player, welcome with arms. Welcome with arms. I think there's loads of, we could all sit here, right? We can all sit here and name so many players that are better than what we've got. And I've got a feeling we're going to see a big summer. I do. I think things are changing massively. When Vinai joined and I said something's changing in the summer, hence why Ange hasn't been sacked, I never knew it would be this, but now it looks like naming rights, possibly a portion of the club being, a stake in the club being sold. You know, an investment, £400 million on player. I don't know. I've got a feeling we'll spend close to £300 million this summer. I might be wrong. I've got a feeling it might be close to 300 million. Brett, great point. Biss at Brighton was great. Then Ange basically played him into the ground. So Frank will use Biss well. I think this is what we don't take into account. Right? This is what football fans, we never take this into account. You've got a new manager coming in with a new setup and a new way of player. There will be players that were poor before that get transformed. Right? I've said this for years. The manager before didn't get the best out of anybody. So all those people who wanted him to say, he didn't get the best out of any of them. Now we've got a manager that coaches and gets the best out of footballers. So I think there will be players. Now, there will be players that I don't rate that will be good this year. And I can turn around and go, wow, fair play. Right? Doesn't always have to be about right or wrong. But there will be players that I thought, yeah, you were shit under him, and I think you're going to be shit under him as well. And that's football, right? Thomas Frank is a very clever, astute coach. He's a top, widely respected, well-regarded coach. Hey, it is what it is. Let's have a look. Alistair Gold said the current feeling around the Morgan Gibbs-White transfer is that Forest may only succeed in delaying the move rather than preventing it. So let's hope that that is true. Let's hope that is true massively. And by the way, we're only 5 subscribers away now from 19,300, which is crazy. 3 days ago, we weren't even on 19K. So if we get 5 more subscribers, we've done 300 in 3 days, which would be amazing. So look, it's an interesting one, right? There's players we rate, players we don't. There's players I rate at Tottenham that I just think Ange Postecoglou killed. James Maddison is one of them. I think we've only seen half of what James Maddison is capable of. And sorry, stay hydrated, people. I think we've only seen half of what he's capable of because he has him on the halfway line most of the game. I don't think, from looking how Thomas Frank played with Damsgaard, as the playmaker. I don't think you're going to see him on the halfway line. I think you're going to see him in that final third creating. You're going to see him getting the ball, turning and looking up for those wingers and that forward. And that's the difference. When you've got a manager that knows what they're doing, that's what you get. When you've got a manager that only has one style of play and doesn't know how to coach, those people don't get those people don't get the best out of them, right? So for me, I think a lot of things are going to change with a lot of players. That doesn't mean we don't need better players. There's two. I keep getting told that he's a coach, don't need any players. Of course you do. You can coach players to a level, but then you need better players in general. That's just life. It's on during the Spurs barbecue. So what I'm going to do is going to go live from the barbecue, probably watching the game, but it'll be a very different watch along with all of the YouTubers involved. So it is what it is. Good morning to SSJ. Thank you very much. They're new to your channel. Excellent content. Come on, you Spurs. SSJ, thank you very much. I'm not used to all these compliments. Someone say something horrible about me quickly in the chat. Somebody say something really nasty about me. Cuss me. Say something. Big nose or something like that. Do something. I'm not used to all this niceness. Thank you very much, SSJ. That's very, very generous. I'm trying to give you as much content as I can throughout the summer. I know what it feels like as a football fan like you lot when there's no games. But with the transfer rumours, I'm trying to bring you as much content as possible. So big up to you. Thank you very much for joining the channel. Big up. And Trevor Whitaker. Thank you very much, Trevor, with the super sticker. Trevor's putting in super stickers. You lot can smash a like button. Big up to you, Trevor. Really appreciate that. And we have now gone over 300 likes, but there are 1,020 of you in here. 1,020 of you in here, which is, it blows my mind that many people want to see this ugly face. But let's get back to some more of your comments just quickly before we do. Bill's been a member for 5 months. How you doing, Bill? Said, hope you're well, mate. Bill, I'm fantastic. Went out last night. Went for a friend's birthday, was tucked up in bed nice and early, well, early-ish, and woke up and thought, you know what a lovely day. Let's do a stream. Then we'll go out, have a nice roast dinner somewhere. Got a lovely place that does a roast dinner near me. And the roast dinner is what they do, a trio of meats. Ooh, I love it. A roast dinner, by the way, is my meal. That is my death row meal. And, you know, on the menu where you're going, oh, beef or chicken or lamb, I want all three, please. And don't mug me off with roast potatoes. I don't want 3 roast potatoes. I want 5 minimum. Minimum. Give me my roast potatoes. Big up to you, Bill. Hope you're well as well. He says, everyone, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, Bill. We're growing. We're growing. We've got games galore for you in the 25-26 season. This is how much I love you lot and I love YouTube. I have just put my holiday. Myself and the wife just had not a row, but we were having a debate about when to go on holiday. And I've actually changed it so that it's during the international break in September, so that I don't miss any games for you lot and for me. Big up to you lot. Thank you very much, Bill. Really appreciate that, my man. Really appreciate that. Right. I'm going to ask the question. Guys and girls, we're hearing that all is changing at Tottenham from top to bottom. We can see it being implemented as well. We can see it being implemented. As I said, Vinai Venkatesham has come in to run the football operations, even though we've got some fans going, he's rubbish. He doesn't know football. He's a businessman. Well, he's running the football operations. And for someone that doesn't know football, he worked for Arsenal Football Club, one of the biggest clubs in the world, for 14 years. Also, Levy looks like he's stepping sidewards to look at the more commercial revenue, which makes sense, doesn't it? When you look at the concerts and the revenue from the Formula One and the boxing and NFL and all that kind of stuff. So it looks like he's gone to that. And it looks like Tottenham Hotspur are now getting investment. So it looks like there is all change. We're talking about naming rights. We're talking about possible part of the business being sold. So I'm going to ask you right now, it's 11:45 a.m. Let me see some of your comments. How are you feeling? Is this all a smoke screen? Are we all believing hype that hasn't happened? Or is this now a change in Tottenham Hotspur? Let me know. Just quickly, my man Box Office said, here we go. Hypocrites in the chat say we need good players, but then they turn their nose up at Grealish and call me deluded, but loves. They don't love me, mate. Listen, 50% of the people in here will love me. 50% watch me because they hate me. It's just the way it is, man. It's YouTube. If everyone in your YouTube comments likes you, you're doing something wrong, right? I think the people that watch me regularly understand what I do as a YouTube creator. I talk to the chat. Someone told me off yesterday. He said, "Oh, I'm half an hour." They watched the show back. I mean, I'm half an hour into the show. You spent a lot of time talking to your chat. Yeah, isn't that what we're all here for? Don't you all want to be included? Isn't that what this is? Gulab said, "Savva, you got to be ruthless." Yes, we can try and sell him like we are, but if he doesn't want to leave, it's very difficult, my man. I'm not saying don't be ruthless. I'm here for the ruthlessness, but it's not as simple as people make out. Listen, I'm all for him leaving. I'm all for him leaving. Where are we? Lynn Simpson. Hello, Lynn. How you doing? Channel member said Vinny will help Spurs like he did at Arsenal, but he works alongside a sales director. Have you got one? I don't know. At the moment, it's all change, Lynn. Got to remember there's a lot of moving parts at the top of Tottenham Hotspur right now. And again, as I said, I'll say it again, this is why we didn't sack Ange last year. This now all makes complete sense. This is what makes me laugh. Right, this is what makes me laugh. This is what makes me laugh, Don Hotspur. I've got people going to me, the same people, well, probably some of the same, saying, "Oh, Basuma's rubbish, bang average." The same people going, "Oh, give Archie Gray a try." I don't. There is no example in football where I want Archie Gray in midfield above Yves Basuma. Never. No. Any of you can tell me that you'd rather watch Archie Gray in midfield than Yves Basuma. Yeah, surely you're having a laugh, aren't you? You're having a laugh. Why he's only worth 20 million now? He's got 1 year left on his contract, mate. He's got 1 year left on his contract. That's what happens. Players will go down in value depending on how many years on their contract that they've got. Richest man, how you doing, bro? Hope you're well. Nice to meet you the other day. Do you think the World Club Cup participation will catch up with the clubs at the latter stage of the season? Think it might be a factor. Do you know what? It absolutely could be. Or it could be the other way around. Maybe these players go in a bit fitter. They've got more in their legs. You've got to remember, Chelsea, for example, look at the size of their squad. They can rotate. It's definitely one to watch out for. Let's see. I think that's a really good question. Big up to Collective Breaks, Matty. Big up to Collective Breaks, who's become a YouTube member. Big up to you. Thank you very much for being a member. You are now welcome to the membership perks of the member-only shows that are once a week. There will be one this week, probably Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday, where only members can join, only members can watch it, and it doesn't get blasted around the internet. And everyone, I think, feels a lot more chilled and relaxed. People are coming on, they're having a chat, they're venting, they're it's like an old mother's meeting. So welcome to you. You're now welcome to join those meetings. Thank you very much for that. Welcome. Big up to George, channel member and a mod with a super sticker. He's carrying on the super sticker train. Big up to you, my man. Very, very, very generous, George. Much love to you indeed. Nick B. I said, if we get Morgan Gibbs-White, he would bring out the best in Johnson, playing balls behind the defence. Quite possibly, yes. But I'm intrigued to see what they do, because Kudus, for me, is going to be the right-sided forward. So I don't know where Johnson will fit in as a starter. I think, in my humble opinion, and there's a lot of games, I'm sure he'll get a lot of starts. My humble opinion, I think we're probably going to see him more effective as a off-the-bench guy. But I could be completely wrong. I haven't even seen a single pre-season under this manager to know. I haven't seen a single pre-season. So it is what it is. Big up, Nick. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Again, it's another one we're going to have to wait and see. Rick Kane with the super sticker. Thank you very much, buddy. Very, very generous. I've got some very, very generous viewers and subscribers. Thank you very much, Rick. Really appreciate that, my man. Thank you. My man. Ah, love it. Thank you very much. Big up to Aaron, who's a new member as well. We're getting new members left, right, and center, are we? Big up to you all. Thank you very much. And just so you know, Aaron, thank you very much. You're now eligible for the Football Heritage TV member-only show. And we're only one subscriber away from 19,300. We are motoring motoring towards the 20,000 subscriber count. We are now 701 away from that. We are flying. We only went to 19,000 on Thursday, maybe 19K. Maybe we hit it on Thursday, and now we are one away from 19,300 already. So thank you to you and everybody that has subscribed. Big up to Ben Hart. Very, very generous. So big up, Savva. Love the shows, mate. Best YouTuber. Oh, stop it. Listen, there's some bloody good YouTubers out there. There's some terrible ones, but there's some bloody good ones. Just kidding. Now, listen, everyone's doing their own thing in the YouTube world. It's a tough gig. It's a really, really tough gig. Always told, really easy what you do. Turn on the camera, you talk football, blah, 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 blah. When you do this all day, every day, trying to find content, talking to the audience, getting guests, thumbnails, it's tough. And then on top of that, in 11 days' time, you've got the first show for the Spurs 5. So make sure you look out. We're going to be announcing that very, very, very soon. Big up to you, Ben. That's very generous, my man. Thank you. Big up to the Collective Breaks, who's just become a member and then put in a super sticker as well. Thank you very much. Said, love your content, Savva. Just became a member. Boom. Been a Spurs fan for 34 years. I'm sorry to hear that, mate. It's been hard work for you, hasn't it? There's something different this time, I hope. It does feel different. Listen, is it delusion on our part as fans to say things like this? Maybe. But it feels different. It feels like something's changing at the top. The fact that Kudus Gibbs-White in 24 hours that's not Tottenham. That's not how we move. But it doesn't stop there. Can't stop there. As my favourite saying goes from the West Wing, if anyone's seen that, one of the greatest box sets of all time, the president always says, what's next? That's where I am. What's next? So all those people going, oh, you haven't celebrated the Europa League enough. What am I meant to just celebrate day after day after day after? What's next? What are we doing next? Let's go. Let's move. Let's go bigger. What's next? I remember watching Pep Guardiola after Man City done the treble. And they said, Pep, you're going to enjoy this. He said, yeah, tonight we party. Tomorrow we look forward to next season. Like, what's next? I love it. Winners. The winner's mentality. Love it. Big up to you, Collective Breaks. Really appreciate that. And Aaron, who just became a new member as well, just sticking in a cheeky little €11, €12 super sticker. Very, very generous indeed. You lot are being very, very generous today. Thank you very much. Thank you, Aaron. Welcome to Football Heritage TV. And we have just gone over 19,300. So big up to you. Kicks TV is showing an absolutely stupidity here. So Zubi will score 20 goals a season. But Zubi's game isn't to score 20 goals a season or make Havertz or Jesus into a goal machine. Sorry, Kicks, you do realise that just because, sorry, I can't even, this is the dumbest thing I've ever read. Sorry. You do realise what Zubimendi's job on a football pitch is, right? Isn't to do any of the things you've just said. What are we doing here? This general tracks. A player like Grealish, I think would be brilliant. Teach Tell how to hold the ball up. Teach Tell how to cross. Teach Tell how to win fouls. All of these things. Absolutely, my man. Absolutely. And big up. Look at my man, Patrick McCory. Always generous, this man. Always very generous. Thank you very much, buddy. Said, morning, mate. Thinking you need to fly me over for the FHTV barbecue so I can cook you proper barbecues. Patrick. I'll tell you what, mate. The pressure I'm feeling about cooking. No, not really. It is what it is. It's sausages, it's burgers, it's lamb, it's chicken. Like it is what it is. Patrick, I'll tell you, get yourself to London this weekend. You're welcome to come and join my the FHTV barbecue. I think there's about 15 of us at the moment. Obviously, lots of people are invited, but trying to get that many people on the same date available. But if you get to London, Patrick, you are more than welcome to come. All right. So big up to you, Patrick. It's very generous super chat. Thank you very much. You lot today have been brilliant on the likes, the super chats, subscribers, absolutely everything. So big up to you lot. Let me get some of your comments to see what you think about the changes at Spurs. Mr. Clean says, Savva, you look so much healthier when Spurs are not playing. I don't know how to quite take that. Well, there's no panic. There's no stress when Spurs are not playing. Don't worry. Oh, I love it. Hang on. Who would like a Matt special? Yeah, who would like a Matt special? I'm fully backing Frank, but which big club has ever gone after him? Mate, you do realise you sat and literally done your load over Ange Postecoglou week in, week out. No big club had ever gone in for Ange Postecoglou. But with Thomas Frank, it's different. Matt, you honestly, you do realise why everyone gets so frustrated with you and calls you a troll. You have just literally done a 180 on everything. You were like, oh my God, Ange. Oh, don't worry that you lost today, Ange. Oh, but Ange, give Ange this year. Oh, but with Thomas Frank, no big club's ever got. Have a day off, mate. Have a day off. I would take Joao Palhinha all day, every day, and a month of Sundays. Why not? Why not? What? There's nothing to not like about this signing. This is a proven Premier League midfielder who I think in his 2 years at Fulham, if I'm not wrong, in the league, had the most interceptions, tackles, and ball recoveries in 2 years, if I'm not wrong, in the Premier League. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is correct. For me, it's a no-brainer. For me, absolute no-brainer. Would love Palhinha on midfield. Imagine how different we would look. Gibbs-White and Palhinha as your two centre mids. Kudus on the right, Grealish on the left. I mean, now Maddison in the hole. What a team that would be. What a team that would be. Savva, you get. Hello, celery agent. That's a great name. What have I done? Why am I get? You're going thin on top. Come on, I've got a lovely head of hair. Considering my age, I think I've got I've got good hair going on. Come on. Oh, here we go. Right. Let's see all the negative comments. I asked for them. Stretch out, Savva. Let's go. Let's see who was the most original. Where do we start? Right. Okay. Where do we start? So Savva, you suck. Come on. You could do better than that, Aussie Frank Lover. Savva, you get. Savva, you're a joker. I love it. Oh, okay. Savva, you're a negative prick. Your hair's a mess. Will just went with the one I said, the big nose. Your pom-pom. Love it. Gel on a Sunday. I don't use gel, mate. I use powder. Look, this is fluffy. Look, there's no gel, mate. I don't use gel in my hair. Haven't used gel in my hair since I was about 15, mate. Where are we? Savva, try shutting your gob for once. Love that. Savva supports Arsenal. Yeah, okay, good. Easy one to throw at. Savva, first hair of many falling off your scalp. Oh, mate, listen, I'm receding a little bit. I am 42. Greek nose. Oh, Greek nose. Oh, Jesus. Savva loves Matt. And Savva, listen, I need people like Matt. People like Matt allow me to expose people who don't understand football. I love it. Savva is a gooner in disguise. Savva, you are a clown, and Andrew was the greatest. I knew there would be an Andrew one. You look like CM Punk. Who's that? Sorry, should I know who that is? I've heard the name. CM Punk. I'm just Googling. Who is CM Punk? I don't look anything like CM Punk. What are we talking about? He looks like Wolverine. Big up to you. 5. You want 5? Me? 5? What happened? What did I say? I don't know, mate. What did I say? Oh, 5 roast potatoes. Right. Yeah. Mate, listen, Sean, let me know if you want to come on. Right. The worst thing ever. I don't know if any of you agree with me. The worst thing ever. Right? The worst thing ever is going somewhere for a roast dinner. And when it turns up, you're like 3 roast potatoes. It's like, hang on, I've paid like 19 quid for this. And you're giving me 3 roast potatoes and a ball of stuffing that big. Nah, get back to the kitchen. Get me some roast potatoes on my plate. All over it. If I don't have to dig down and have layers tomorrow's dinner, I'm throwing plates like a Greek dinner party. Oh, I like it. Greek. Go on, the Greeks. Us Greeks, Ellie, all we do is throw plates, innit? Us Greeks. That's what we're going to do at the barbecue next week, Ellie. We're just going to throw plates at each other for a bit of a laugh. Yeah, listen, it is what it is. So, listen, I'm just coming to the section now where I did ask about what people think. Matt, of course, thinks it's a smokescreen. He can't quite see all the changes that are going on, which is hilarious. Matt is seeing the changes in front of his eyes, but thinks it's a smokescreen. Been burnt too many times before. Well, when have we ever seen a change before? So I'm not really sure that's true. I'm happy for Levy to stay for commercial means. Best in class in that aspect. I've got no problem with Daniel Levy being at the club on that side of things. Listen, I think Levy did some good. I think he frustrated many of us. But where we are as a football club right now, I think it's the right time for him to let somebody else run at the football side of things. I don't think that's bad. I don't think we have to all go, oh my God, he's the devil and he's the worst thing that's ever happened to Tottenham Hotspur. But I do think that, you know, even like when I speak to Sean about it, who's more over that side than I am, has said many a times that, listen, you know, maybe it is time for somebody else to take it over from the footballing point of view. And that's what Vinai Venkatesham is here to do, right? I don't. Time will prove me wrong. Prove me wrong on what? What have I said that's not right so far? Mike, the problem is with people like you, when you come out with comments like this, you don't give any context. It's okay for people to tell me that Gray's really good, but when I ask at what, I still haven't got, I don't get any answers to what he's good at. Now, he might be brilliant in a few years. Sure. Well, sure. We'll wait till then. But at the moment, nothing hasn't proved me wrong on anything at the moment. He's not good enough for Tottenham's midfield. It is what it is. Joshua has said, our GOAT Messi been cooking at Inter Miami since he's gotten back. Plus, they're signing Rodrigo de Paul. Yeah, Rodrigo de Paul is going out to Inter Miami to join Messi and co. Crazy times. All crazy, crazy times. Wharton or Palhinha? Listen, I think if you're looking at a short-term measure, Palhinha. I think if you're looking at a long-term measure, you're looking at Wharton. I think the difference between these two is going to be the price massively. I mean, their age, of course, is massively different, but the price on these two is going to be, I genuinely think Wharton's going to be 80 plus. I genuinely think that. But I'll take either of them. Video complete. I'm taking either of them, buddy. I genuinely am taking either of them. Big up to Matt. He said, where's my invite to the barbecue? Would love to come. Matt, I couldn't have you at a barbecue. I couldn't hear you yapping on about Ange and 3 to 5 year projects every 30 seconds. Hey, who knows in the future, Matt? But right now, never going to happen, buddy. I still think half of you is a troll. Sanctuary of 7, my man, Sanctuary of 7, big up to you. Said, laugh out loud, Matt. Don't think Sav wants you knowing where he lives. He'd have to blindfold you and pick you up in a yeah. I don't quite think I'm going to give my address to random people who watch my show. So no, not going to happen. Big up, Sanctuary. Love that as a comment. Big up, my man. Thank you very much. Where are we? Let me try and catch up in the chat a little bit. Savva, I love your show. So balanced, and I seem to agree with a lot of your takes. Sam, listen, don't have to always agree with my takes, but I try to be balanced. And I think it's why I think that a lot of the panel shows, people get annoyed at me because what I don't do is just go on and go, oh my God, Spurs are amazing, Spurs are amazing, Spurs are amazing. And Arsenal shit, Chelsea, the devil. I try and find a bit of reason to football conversations. Whereas on a lot of the panel shows, people seem to want to spend all their time just trying to mug off everyone else. And I just find it a little bit, after a while, it just gets a bit silly. Oh, you're Spurs. Yeah, but it's got nothing to do with the conversation we're having. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. Will there be Savlakis at the Barbie? Who knows? I'm going to sort the food out soon. Don't worry. Where are we? Listen, Stephen, we're saying we have to be careful trying to force out players. Look, I think the word force is an interesting one. As we said earlier in the show, I think there are mechanisms you can put into place. You can tell a player that, look, hey, you know, you're not in my plans. I don't see a future for you. at Tottenham Hotspur. You can say other people are in the pecking order above you. You can say to them, I think it's probably best you move on. At the end of the day, if the player wants to stay, what do? You cannot register them, but you can't, Spurs, if Basuma's in the squad, they're going to register him, right? Like if Basuma's at this club, because he is better than Sarr. He is better than Archie Gray. So a lot of this, I think, is more about us trying to make space for players than us actually having to rip apart Basuma. I think Basuma gets a lot of unnecessary stick. I think he's so good at what he does. I think you've got to play him in the right way. Now, that might not work for all fans, but there are players that you can't have him as a number 6. He's not a number 6 in any way, shape, or form. Is that you? Is that Kate or Jim? I reckon it's Kate, but God, Demau. Oh my gosh. God, how many windows in a row were we signing Leandro Demau? How many windows in a row? And we never got him, did we? Where are we? I know. I was there for it. I was disappointed there wasn't anything a little bit worse. Sam Mule said, don't slander Ange. He's a Europa League winner. We was never going to win the league. We had half the team out of the squad. I love all these fake things coming out. You don't rate, so what? And Ange was overachieved. Overachieved. The man lost 26 games in a year. He definitely overachieved. Yeah, overachieved on how bad a manager could be. Absolutely. Every now and then you've got to get the old VAR out, don't you? My forehead is growing nicely. Yeah, unfortunately, when you recede, yes, your forehead does grow. And there's the best one from my man. Kudos. Yes, Savva, you poo-poo head. Yes, that's what I was talking about. Poo-poo head. Love that one. Savva, you're anti-Semitic. Savva, you're anti-Semitic. What on earth are you talking about? Should we bring up the meaning of anti-Semitic for everybody? Actually, I might get banned if I do that. What are you talking about? That's okay. Interesting. Interesting. Let's move down. Where are we? Savva uses his nose as a fish hook when he goes fishing. I like these original ones. I love these. These are good. These are good. So talk to me on a serious note, guys. Talk to me. Just get back to football. Let's get back to football. Are we thinking now that these deals are being concluded by Vinai? Is Vinai Venkatesham and Lang, are they the ones concluding these deals? Are these the ones? I'm hearing that we're splitting a lot of plates. I'm hearing that we're going in for a lot of players. I'm hearing that it's going to be a massive transfer window for Tottenham. Are we thinking that Levy has taken a step back? That's what we're hearing, right? That's what we're hearing. But do you all believe it? Do we think that Vinai Venkatesham is doing that now? What do we reckon? Let me know your thoughts and I'll bring up the best comments. Interesting. We all talk, don't we? We all talk indefinites. And it's one of the things I love about football fans. We talk indefinites and we all think we know exactly what's going on. And it's why I try and use words like apparently and what we're hearing. And, it's why I don't do thumbnails like that and all that bollocks. But look, I think, can you all agree that things are moving, things are changing, hence the title of the show, massive changes from top to bottom. I think we can all see that it's changing, whether you like Levy or not, whether you like Enoch or not, we can see that things are changing. We can see that all these talks with the likes of, Aramco, with stadium naming rights, as we talked about yesterday, with being in talks with these clubs, the Aramco Stadium, for example. Surely we can all see that there is something different in the air. It must feel different, seem different. And it just baffles me a little bit if people don't see that. I think that's the thing for me. That's the thing for you. Sam, don't ever talk about my wife. Ever. Don't ever talk about my wife on the screen. There you go. There's your first warning. It'll be blocked. It's that simple. Yeah, come for me. No one goes for my wife, talks about my wife in any sort of a way. Yeah, no, Kate, listen, you got the invite. That's all that mattered. guys, and girls, let me know, who do you want to see come through the door now? We're hearing that there's going to be a lot of money spent. We're hearing that it could be up to like a £300 million window, depending on what you want to add into that. I mean, at the moment, if the Gibbs-White deal gets done, we're already at 115. I'm expecting a left-sided forward. I'm expecting a striker, and I think we'll get a 6 and possibly another left-back. And something that I'd like, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me here. We're hearing a lot that AC Milan want Udogie. I would happily let Udogie go and bring in Anthony Robinson from Fulham. I think that would be my dream left-back scenario this year. So yes. So I don't think that I don't think that Udogie's an interesting one for me. Udogie's an interesting one. When I watched him at Udinese as a left wing back, I liked him. Watching him as a left back, not a wing back, I'm not sold at the moment. I'm not sold. Now, will Frank develop that? Sure. Right? Will he? Sure. But for me, I watch a player. I'd love to get your opinions on Anthony Robinson. I watch Anthony Robinson at Fulham, and everything about him is everything I like. Everything I like. 1 second. What's this breaking news thing over? Here we go. So the sporting president has said this. It's not Spurs, but it's quite an interesting one. So the sporting president has just said, if the geniuses who devised this strategy think it will pressure me to facilitate his departure, talking about Gyökeres, they are not only mistaken, but also making things more complicated for the player. No one is above the club's interests. If they are not willing to pay the fair market value, we are perfectly comfortable with him staying with us for the next 3 years. Let that sink in. So for all the Arsenal fans who thought they were getting Gyökeres easily, for some reason, you won't pay what... If you're Gyökeres, aren't you looking at Arsenal and saying, why aren't they paying for me? Why don't they rate me enough? Anyway, as I was saying, Anthony Robinson, for me, everything I like in a left-back. He loves the tackle. He loves overlapping. He's got a brilliant engine. He's got assists galore. Just something to look at. Because we always talk about, let's buy a backup left-back. I think we can do better than Udogie. It's not saying we will. Something might not move on that side of the pitch, but I think we can do much better. Let me know what you think, guys. I really do. Del Boy says, I'm still wondering why Charrington is in. Maybe to keep an eye on. I think Charrington's the one dealing with... Charrington's the one doing all of these negotiations with Saudi and America and stadium naming rights, mate. That's what this guy's in for. He's doing that sort of stuff. Hey, but that's only a moment in time, right? Because once that's done, he'll move to the football side of he's still doing the football side of things now. Yeah, no, I know what he meant. It was just really, really silly. It's really silly when people, if I see him again in the chat, I'll just block him. Can't even remember who it was at this time. So, look, it's going to be very, very interesting. Do we get a left back in? Are we going for another centre half? We've seen that we're linked with the likes of Scalvini and De Vinter and people like that. But we've got a lot of centre halves, haven't we? We've got like 9 centre halves at the football club as things stand, right? As things stand, we've got 9 centre halves. So... let's just put this guy in a timeout for a bit. He can think about what he said about my wife. Yeah, listen, Frank will make your Udogie better. But for me, I don't look at him and see an out-and-out left back. I don't know if anyone agrees or disagrees. I don't look at him and go, cool, you're a good defender. I think he's a good athlete. I think he's powerful down the left. But I don't see a lot by the way of goals or assists. And I don't really see a lot by the ways of defending. I'm not really sure. Sean Brown, he would like Robinson. Definitely like Anthony Robinson at Tottenham. For me, it's a no-brainer. What would be 40, 45 million maybe? George, you mean Douglas Luiz? I think you mean Douglas. I think David Luiz is about 40 now, isn't he? Video complete. Sofian says, Savva, if we get Palhinha, would you play him as a lone number 6 behind Gibbs-White and Maddison? I don't think he'll do that, Frank. Only me personally. I think what Frank will do is I think he'll do the 4-2-3-1, and I think he'll have Palhinha with someone like a Gibbs-White. So Gibbs-White is your 8, your box-to-box. Palhinha is your defensive-minded, one of the two, and then a Maddison in front of them in the 10, being allowed to be a playmaker. Hey, I could be completely wrong. And you know what? We're going to find out all of this during the preseason. I'd love both of them. But how much would you guys like Robinson and Palhinha? Tell me. Robinson is 27, 28, is he? Yeah. 27, 28, something like that. Hang on, just bear in mind someone said, look at Romano. Are they winding me up? Let's have a look. Rooney Bargi, ready for Barcelona training. Don't know what I'm meant to be looking at. AC Milan getting a new backup goalkeeper. Mosquera. The only thing I can see, I don't know if anyone was talking about this. This is the only thing I can see that Romano said. Someone just said to me to check Romano. This is the only Spurs thing I can see that he said, which was an hour ago, which was no active talks between Fenerbahce and Spurs for Basuma so far, as Fener are focused on different targets. So again, what you are starting to see with the Basuma conversation is we're starting to see that a lot of the ITKs now are talking about him. The Sacha Tavolieri talked about him yesterday. Romano's mentioned him again today. Normally, smoke and fire springs to mind, doesn't it? Normally, smoke and fire. There must be a reason why these people are now starting to talk a lot. Maybe, for all we know, Basuma does want to go, but wants to stay in the Premier League, a little bit like Garnacho, who we know isn't going to be at Man U next year, but wants to stay in the Premier League. So we'll see on that front. We'll see whether Basuma does end up staying at Tottenham Hotspur. By the way, I'm not completely against it. The decision will be Frank's, right? The decision's going to be Frank's. If Thomas Frank wants to keep him, maybe, for all we know, Thomas Frank's seen him in training for a couple of weeks and gone, yeah, I like what this boy can do. Or he's seen him and gone, good player, but not for me. He's not really going to be a first-team player. And I'm guessing that's going to be with all of them. Bentancur, Sarr, Gray. When he sees him, I don't think Gray's back from international break yet. But, you know, I think we've got to remember it's not going to be about what we want. You know what I mean? It's not going to be about what we want as fans. It's going to be about what Thomas Frank wants. And guys and girls, you all know my feelings on Thomas Frank. I completely trust him. I've not been this happy with a manager for a long time. I really like Thomas Frank. He's an excellent coach. And you know what? When he talks, he comes across brilliantly. He truly does, doesn't he? Don Hotspur said Udogie needs to improve his crossing. Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look at Udogie from last year, shall we? Udogie. Destiny Udogie. I mean, 1 assist in the Premier League, no assists in the Cups, and no assists in the Europa. This man has got 1 assist all season from left back. That's utterly shambolic, isn't it? Lil Eddie has said Robinson a proper left back, Udogie as a wing back. Robinson will be perfect. Bang on. Absolutely bang on, my friend. He would be perfect for me, Anthony Robinson. I'm a big fan of his. Agree with Robinson, disagree with Udogie. Okay, what do you mean? Context. Add some words. Listen, I don't dislike Udogie. I don't think he should be a shoo-in as a left back. I feel like there are better players massively. Ozzy, Mandy, I don't agree with this. There are centre backs that again will be better playing in a proper system with a proper coach. We've got to take that into account. We bought players like Dragoshin and Danso and asked them to play a high line. It's madness. Thomas Frank will get the best out of them. I'm telling you. Big up, Pete. Timed him out. Good. He's gone. See you later. Will we have to pay 60 million up front for Morgan Gibbs-White? This might be the deal breaker by Marinakis. I mean, look, I'd like to know what the terms were anyway. I don't think that's actually been announced or released by anyone as of yet. but I definitely like to see what those terms are. But quite possibly, Graham, I mean, this is what we're all waiting to find out, right? What's the next steps? Has Marinakis said, fine, you can have him, but it's going to be 70 million? And we go, oh, okay, 10 million. Or are we now going to be in a tug of war for weeks? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. As is the news that Andy Carroll has signed for Dagenham and Redbridge. Big up to you, Graham. Gobi, I think they'll try and get it sorted this week. I don't think the FA will want this dragging on. I really think that they need to resolve this quickly, the FA. I don't think they'll want it dragging on. Neither will Forest, neither will Spurs. You've got to remember, now it's a very difficult situation for the player, because if he doesn't get the move to Tottenham, then he's now at a club where they know he doesn't want to be there, and the fans are annoyed, and it's a situation that needs to be resolved for all parties' best interests. I've said this time and time again. You don't want unhappy players at your club, do you? You don't want unhappy players at your football club. Once they're unhappy, you're in a state of flux, aren't you? You're in a, how do his teammates react? How does the coach react? Does he give his all? Does he sulk? I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure at the moment who the best interests lay with, if that makes sense. I'm just not sure right this second who the best interests lay with. Louis, I said I'd prefer Locatelli over Palhinha. I'd love Locatelli. Oh my gosh, I love Locatelli. This guy can pass a football. This guy controls games from deep line playmaker. Very different type of deep line player to Palhinha, right? Very different. But I would take him all day, every day. Yeah, great shout. Video complete has said Vlahovic, Palhinha, Robinson. I'd rate this window a 10 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, if you get players of this ilk, we start to look like a proper football team, don't we? You're talking about players who are not Spurs players. Very surreal. Is that really what surreal means? I think you need to go and look in the dictionaries. Why is that surreal? Isn't that what all fan bases do? Talk about players we'd like to sign. Big up George said 19.3k growing every minute, 20k before the season starts. Damn right, brother. I want 20k before we play PSG. Definitely. Well, actually, that's a month. I'll be really annoyed if it takes a month to get another 690 subscribers. But hey, it is what it is. Where are we? Oh, we've got some more super chats. Big up to Marco, channel member. Big up to you, Marco. I said, big up to Savva, true Spurs fan and a very good YouTuber. Well, thank you very much on both accounts. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, mate. Really do appreciate that, Marco. That's very generous, and everyone's being nice to me today. It's very weird. But big up to you, Marco. Really appreciate that. Matt, I said, I'm off now, mate. Have a think about the barbecue. This guy. Big up, Matt. Enjoy the rest of your day. There's nothing for me to think about for the barbecue, my friend. But thank you. Big up to you. Big up to Sanctuary 7. He said a negative comment for you. Ginola, overrated. I'm going to time you out for 5 minutes. I'm not. One of the best players I've ever seen in a Spurs shirt, this man. You all know my love for David Ginola. Different. Just different. Now we get excited by people like Kulusevski. Then we were getting excited by Ginola's. Big up to you, Sanctuary. Terrible comment. Terrible. Big up to Jamie Allen. Thank you very much, my man. Said Adogi has a handful of crosses in the air in 2 seasons. It'll be interesting to see how he works in a structured system. And Robinson will be a good buy. Jamie, yeah, absolutely. Listen, for all we know, Frank's gone in and gone, right, Adogi's he's my left back. I'm going to do this with him. I'm going to coach him. I'm going to do this. I'm just saying that he needs to up that game, right? I mean, I think when I watch him, I hear how good he is going forward, but I'm not really seeing it. He's a powerful lad, a good athlete. He drives with the ball, but I think he needs to improve at both ends of the pitch. He's still young enough that can happen. But yeah, Anthony Robinson for me for a few years, I'd absolutely love that in the Spurs team, my man. I truly would. Alex has said, we really need to get the Morgan Gibbs-White deal done ASAP, then get rid of unwanted players. Too many players can derail us. Yeah, listen, the club are going to have to sort that out. And I think as the transfer window goes on, we will see more and more people leaving the building. Big up to each and every one of you, by the way. There's over 1,000 of you in here. Only 475 likes, though. We should be on about 600-700 by now. So please smash that like button, people. And thank you. We have now gone to 19,310 subscribers. Let's see if we can push that towards 19,350. There is the link. And it's very, very much appreciated. I tell you what, let me see if I can be generous here. Bear with me 1 second. I'm not sure if I'll be able to give out any more memberships as I did the other day. Let me see. Let me see if I can give out any memberships. I don't think I'll be able to. Can I? No, I can't at the moment. I can't give away. I can't give away any memberships. I'm so sorry. Very, very, very sorry. I will do next week when it resets, though. I will give away some more channel memberships. We've given away 10 in the last 2 days. So listen, when you lot are generous, I am generous as well. Big up, Alex. Big up to Morton Barley. My man Gary over there in Ireland said, let Matt come, Savva, and roast him for real. Nah, I can't do that. I'm chilled when I'm in my own house. I'm chilled in my own house. I don't want to be having those big debates and rows in my own house at a garden party where I'm hoping it's going to be hot. Imagine if it rains now. It's going to be fun. Big up to you, Gary. Very, very generous. Appreciate everything you do for my channel, my man. Let's have a look. Agreed, Steve. Agreed. I thought that Spence definitely did. I thought Spence definitely looked better. I think he's a better player than Udogie. I do. I think he's a better player than Udogie. I'm not sure. I thought Ange treated Jed Spence absolutely terribly, if we're going to be honest. I think he is a really, really, really poor for me. Really, really poor the way he treated him. Where are we? Where are we? Sorry, I don't know what my screen just froze there, but we've now got it back. Yeah, possibly. I mean, swap deals are always very difficult to do, aren't they? Swap deals are very difficult to do because it relies on so many different moving parts. Both players have to be comfortable, both players' wages, the timing of it. It's all a bit crazy, but I agree. I don't disagree. Sanctuary 7 says 100K. Let's get Savva that YouTube plaque. I don't think I'll ever make it to 100K, my man. That's a big number. It's a big number. But right now, if all the people that haven't subscribed, and I can see there's lots that haven't watching, please do smash that button. Look, that's where we are right now. Let me cover my revenue. There we go. 19,315. Can we get that up to 19,325? 10 more people. That would be amazing. Paul Markey said, anyone who wouldn't have Grealish knows nothing about football. I can't agree more. I find it staggering when we've got fans looking at our squad. We've got fans that say, yeah, I want Tell. Oh, I like Odobert. I like Johnson. But then we hear things like, I wouldn't want Grealish. It's like, sorry, what? Sorry, you said what? Like, utterly crazy stuff. Bill said, never particularly rated Udogie or Porro for that matter. Don't care if you're a fullback or a wing back. If you're a defender, you must be able to defend. Well, look, I think that's something that Frank's going to definitely have to work on, right? He's going to definitely have to work on. Maybe they don't start as our two fullbacks. I don't think they're fullbacks. That's the problem with them. And you're right. If you play at fullback, you have to defend. But I don't think they're fullbacks. That's only my opinion, Bill. That's only my silly little opinion. But hey, it is what it is. A big up to Chai Pen, who gifted a Football Heritage TV membership. How very generous of you. That has gone to, let me see if I can find out. Pen, that went to Merovingian 1980. I've probably butchered that name, but big up to you. Thank you very much. And I'm sure you'll get a thank you for that. Hey, it is what it is. Guys and girls, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it there for the morning so that I can get on with my day. You lot can get on with your day. And then what we'll do is we'll see you tonight for the Spurs review. So if anyone's got any last minute things they want to say, I'm going to end the show in 5 minutes. So at 12:35, the show will be ended. So anybody that has any last things they want to say, this is the moment to do it. This is the moment to do it. Look, I didn't expect that we would see a lot of Spurs news over the weekend. I'm expecting it will all ramp up again tomorrow. But what are you all expecting from the Morgan Gibbs-White deal? Do you think it's going to get done? Do we think that it's going to get done this week? What are we all saying, people? What are we saying? Hey, it is what it is. Guys, hang on, where is it? Oh, that's at 10 p.m. No, that's not me. Hang on, cancel. Nope. Bear with me 1 second. What I'm going to do is no one else is live. No one else is live. I'll tell you what. Let me know in the chat? Do you want me to keep going until 1? We can answer some questions. Do you want me to keep going until 1? Mike, you disagree with everything I say. How I know you're a troll. Everything I say, you disagree with. If I say it's Sunday, you say the opposite. We see people like you a million times. You should be able to defend. You should be able to defend. Stop running narratives because you have a dislike for Ange. I don't know what that means. I don't. This is the dickhead who talked about my wife, wasn't it? You're a dickhead. You're going straight into another timeout. There you go. There you go, dickhead. Bye. No, listen. We're going to leave it there. We'll be back this evening at 7:30 p.m. for the Spurs review. And it's the final of the thingy will be on in the background as well. Thank you to everyone that's liked, everyone that's subscribed. Thank you very much. And is Sean live? Is Sean live? When's Sean going live? Is he going live at 1? I'll send you over to Sean's. He's not live to 1, but you'll be there ready to go. You'll be ready to go. I might do a transfer show a little bit later on, probably more realistically tomorrow. But until then, I will see you all at 7:30 p.m. for the Spurs review. Take care, everyone. Much love. And as always, come on, you Spurs.